sending missiles to Eretz Israel. So we're praying and we're dedicating the shiur for the protection of our brothers and sisters in Eretz HaKodesh, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will protect them from any type of damage and any type of Chas v'Shalom bad things. You know, this parasha, we have something very strange. The Torah speaks about the Meraglim. Parashat Shelach Lecha Anashim. The Torah speaks about Moshe Rabbeinu sending the Meraglim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Shelach Lecha. Okay, you should send for yourself. I'm not so into it, says Borei Olam. I'm not rushing to send, but if they want and you want, Shelach Lecha Anashim, I give you permission to do so. And there is something strange over here. The Torah, at the beginning, calls them Anashim. Anashim by the Torah says that there were important people, tzaddikim, right, complete people. So when we speak about the spies, they were tzaddikim time. From one hand, we just saw the word tzaddikim. From another hand, Chazal is saying that when they came back and they spoke bad about Am Yisrael, so the Gemara says the same way that when they came back Rashaim, also when they went out at the first place, they went out like Rashaim. So the Gemara, so the question is, decide the Meraglim were tzaddikim or Rashaim. There is a couple of explanations I would like to touch, maybe two short explanations. Number one, it says like this. You see, when you take a piece of iron and you put it on top of the fire, what's going to happen to the iron? It's red, it's boiling hot. Once you take it out, the time that will take to the piece of iron to get cool off, it's very fast. As far as it's next to the fire or on top of the fire, it's constantly boiling. Once you remove it, like any item that you will remove, it gets cooler very quick. Chazal is saying that's what happened to the Menachem. Really, inside themselves, they never work on themselves. They were actually, all the Kedusha and all the Tzidkut that they had was only because of the environment where they were. Next to Moshe Rabbeinu, Aaron HaKohen, it's the Mishkan. As soon as they left, because they didn't work upon themselves, so they didn't have this type of warmth and energy and fire that Moshe Rabbeinu had, and then they cool off. And by the way, Rabotai, that's the sakana that applies to all of us. Especially now, we're getting closer to the summer. Now the kids are in vacation mode. And many times, throughout the year, you are in the right environment, in the shul, in the kollel. You learn, you pray. And then suddenly, vacation comes up. And then you go for vacation and you find yourself nothing. Barely tefillot with minyan. Forget about minyan. Tefillot bichlal. And then learning Torah. If you remember from Shabbat to Shabbat. So comes the Torah and is teaching us, be careful. Don't follow the idea of the Meraglim. You should not be hot only because you're in the proper environment. You should work upon yourself that even when you will leave that environment, you will still have the flame of the Kedusha. I once heard that education, chinuch, how do you know if you had success in chinuch? You want to know if the education that you gave to your kids was good. How do we know? He says, you should check your kids. If they behave good when you're not around, it means that your education was well done. If the kid behaves, but he behaves because his parents are there, because he has, I don't know, a principal that is strict and all that, it's nothing. At the second that the parents will not be there, the principal will not be there, the teacher will not be there, he will do whatever he wants. The real education, חנוך לנער על פי דרכו של שלמה המלך, how? גם כי יזקין לא יסור ממנה. That even when you will get older, you will continue in that path. So that's message number one. But I want to touch one more point. You see, Moshe Rabbeinu grabs Yoshua. He calls him up and he tells him, listen, I'm scared about you, so I want to add you one letter. The letter Yod to your name. From now on, your name is going to be Yoshua. What does the name Yoshua means? Ka Hoshiacha me'atzat Meraglim. Borei Olam will save you from the plan of the spies. Let me ask you a question. Why Moshe Rabbeinu has preference? Why Moshe Rabbeinu decided only to give that special protection to Yoshua? It's not fair. I mean, if you already feel and know that they might be in a challenge, so either you help everybody or you don't help anybody. The Arizal brings down something unbelievable. Listen to this Arizal. Says the Arizal, according to the Sod, each one of the Meraglim, when he went to Eretz Israel, they had what's called Ibur Neshama. What's an Ibur Neshama? Ibur Neshama means that they can have a certain type of strength that comes because of a different Neshama. And he says that we mention each one of the Shvatim in the parasha because each one of them had the Neshama of the first of the sons of Yaakov, right? Reuben, Shamua ben Zakur had the Ibur Neshama of Reuben. Shaphat ben Chori had the Ibur Neshama of Shimon. He says that each one of the Nisim, it came with the strength that was the strength of the father of the Shevet. But we have one problem. Who is the problematic? Yosef. Why Yosef is a problem? Because Yosef has two. Right? So when it comes to Yosef, he says, Lemate Yosef, Lemate Menashe, Gadi ben Susi. Right? That's Menashe. Now what happened with Ephraim? It doesn't say Lemate Yosef, Lemate Ephraim. No. You mentioned Lemate Yosef, Lemate Menashe. But when it comes to Ephraim, it doesn't say Yosef. It says Lemate Ephraim, Oshea bin Nun. Let's give Yosef. It says that Yoshua didn't have any strength from outside. From outside. He didn't have any neshama of a tzaddik that will help him and will push him up. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu calls up Yoshua. And he tells him, listen, Yosef is not going to be with you. Who's going to protect you? So since Shevet Levi did not go to Eretz Israel, there were no spies from Shevet Levi. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm giving you my beracha. I am the one that represents Shevet Levi, and I'm passing you the koach of Levi to be with you. So far, so good. Now listen to this, unbelievable. It says, what was the scene of the Meraglim? It says that the Meraglim did a scene l'shem shamayim. Why? They heard last week's parasha There were two fellows, Eldad and Medad, mitnabeim b'machane. That they had a prophecy. That prophecy, they said, Moshe met, Yehoshua machnis. Moshe Rabbeinu is going to die. Yehoshua is going to bring up Am Yisrael to the land of Israel. The Shevatim, says the Arizal, didn't want to lose Moshe Rabbeinu. According to the Arizal, they even thought to kill up Yehoshua, to be able to have Moshe Rabbeinu with them. So all what they did by coming back from the land of Israel and talking bad about the land of Israel was L'Shem Shamayim. They wanted Moshe Rabbeinu to remain with them. Very good. But that was L'Shem Shamayim. So why Borei Olam was so strict? Why? They had good intention. My dear friends, he says the reason is because they did Chilul Hashem. Because at the moment that they went against, they spoke bad about the land of Israel, they showed that they are against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borei Olam said, you should go to the land of Israel. They said, no, Kivyachol, we know better. There was a Chilul Hashem. How many times happened that a person says, no, listen, this mitzvah is not for me. That's too much. This is, when a person acts that way, he's doing Chilul Hashem. You understand better than God. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, these type of actions, that a person puts himself as the main one in the picture, and he puts Borei Olam as secondary, you're out. That was the sin. And that's why by Yehoshua and Kalev, he says, Ruach acheret imo. He had a different spirit. Because the spirit that the Meraglim had was, we come first. Our interest comes first. Kalev had a different spirit. And Yehoshua, in his name also. What's the name of Yehoshua? Ka, Yudke, Hoshiacha Matzat Meraglim. He put first Borei Olam, and then all the rest. When you put first HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when you put first what is Borei Olam's plan first, what is requesting from you, then you're going to have the salvation. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Yochanan ben Akashah omer, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל